Identifying.
Standby one. Let's go.
You're about to experience the uncensored conversations, stimulating wit, and the thought-provoking wisdom. Bold, raw, and uncut. Right now, on the LanceScurv Show.
The four of us made a reservation on Airbnb about a month ago, and I asked the woman who's the host if 2 more friends would be okay. I made a reservation for 2 of us, and I asked if 2 friends were okay. She said that's fine, we just have to pay more money. So we're driving up, we think everything's fine, we're ready for the ski trip in Big Bear. There were flash flood warnings all day. I asked the woman again, is it okay that my 2 friends come, right? Like, could we give you cash, or how much did you say it was again? And she says, absolutely not. And I say, but you said yes. Here's some screenshots of text messages where you said that I could bring my friends. And she says, you must be high if you think that that would be okay in the busiest weekend in Big Bear. And then she said, no, like, we're done. And she canceled the trip. And she said, like, one word says it all, Asian. And, she said, this is why we have Trump. And she said, like, we can't have foreigners telling us what to do. She said that to me. I'm an American citizen. This is my home. I've been here since I was 3 years old. America is my home. I consider myself an American. But this woman discriminates against me for being Asian. She canceled on us when we were 3 minutes away from the house. We're 3 minutes away. I just feel so hurt. Like, I mean, people thought, oh, with the election of President Obama, like, racism is over in this country. No, it's very much alive. It exists, and it could happen to anyone. There's no bounds to racism, no matter what class you are, no matter what your education level, no matter if you're an American citizen. What they see is that I'm Asian, what they see is my race, and this is how we get treated. It stings. It stings that after living in the U.S. for over 23 years, this is what happens. No matter, like, if I follow the law, if I'm kind to people, no matter, like, how well I treat others, it doesn't matter. If you're Asian, you're less than human. And people can treat you like trash.
If you're Asian, you're less than human, and people can treat you like trash. Hey, all I can say is, young lady, get in line. You've been in the country for 23 years. Get in line. Some may say that you didn't build this country. Get in line. Get in line. Get in line. It happens to you now, and you want to cry. I have nothing against this young lady personally, right? So when I say it happens to you, we're speaking to the general thoughts of people who feel this way. This is really, really deep, y'all. First of all, are you crying to me or people who look like me? I never saw too many of you guys fighting for us. But now that you get a taste of it, you want to cry out to the world. We're all cried out. Black people are all cried out. See, the funny part about it is many Asians set up shop and make lots of money in the black community. Chinese food spots. You have Koreans with the beauty supply shops. You have others in various degrees. And am I angry at that? No. I'm not angry at that, because if we don't do it for ourselves, someone else is going to come in and do it. So they say, well, Scurv, you should be angry at that. No, that's commerce. That's good business. I'm angry at us for not supporting us. That's a whole different situation. If we set up a shop and made the exact same food, we wouldn't support it. That's the way it is. There are very few who support me and other people here on YouTube. That's the way most black folks are. I'm going to say it. I love you all, but I'm going to say it. Thank God I diversify. But back to the point. I'm not mad at them for picking up where we left off. That's like a father who never took care of his child and some next man comes in and marries his ex-woman and takes care of his babies, and that child calls him daddy. I can't get mad. But what I do get angry at, when you have many Asians who are in the black community, what do? They show us a sour face. They treat us that way as though we're less. The way this Asian young lady said that she was treated because she's Asian and the person said that to her and she wants to cry. We've been getting that from you most of the time. Can I put a percentage on it? Can I say it's 50%? I know it's not 50%. It's way more than 50% of Asians who come to do business in the black community and how you deal with us. It's way more than that. 80%, 85, 90, maybe 95%. We don't know how authentic the Colgate smile is, right? But now you want to cry. Look, can I bring to you documentation on how everything is broken down? No, this is a conversation. And right now it's a one-way conversation. And if you want to speak about this and you have ideas on this topic, reach out to me and I'll bring you on live. 407-590-0755. That's how we do it here. Instantaneously. But it's the attitude that you show us as black people, which reflects what you just experienced. You just experienced this now and you want to freak out. But from what I heard, you're supposed to stay away from the niggers. That's the way you are taught when you come to this country. Yes, you've been here for 23 years, but that's deeply embedded into your psyche. There's a young lady who I know who lives in China right now. She's a doctor. And she's been living there for several decades. It's a black woman. And she told me frankly how many of those in China and the total Orient feel about black people. Now, is this everybody? No. But it's many. And it's the way we think or they think. The same way when black people say, well, you don't want to get a black lawyer. You want to go get a Jewish lawyer. Right? And the way so many white men feel about black people, but in the middle of the night, they have that black girlfriend with that backside that they can't see at home because the one they have at home is so flat. And they want to get off on some black flesh, but they can't bring you around the way. If they're single, they can't marry you. They won't. You're a fetish to them. It's the way that many people think. So many of us fall victim to what is put out there en masse. You tell me not? Well, how many of us sometimes see a brother from Italy, an Italian man? Uh-oh, he must be in the mafia. You find out somebody comes from Colombia. Uh-oh, you sell cocaine? Or you got a hold of some cocaine? They probably never saw a line of cocaine in a day in their life. You see somebody from Jamaica, first thing out your mouth, weed man, weed. Come on. My wife is from Jamaica. She never smoked weed. My father's from Jamaica. God rest his soul. He never smoked weed before. So there are things across the board that we whisper. Black people, they're AIDS carriers and disease carriers. They have bad credit. They steal. But one thing I can agree with is that when they say we don't get along, for the most part, we don't. We cry out when someone gets killed collectively, and then we go back to business as usual that weekend at the mall, buying our fake hair, doing what we got to do, playing the games, playing the women, and we're not nation building. Now, this Asian young lady, could you imagine what she heard about black people? Now, maybe I'm putting words in her mouth. Maybe it's not her personally. I understand that. It's the concept that we have an Asian woman crying about being treated so bad in this society, living here 23 years, abiding by the laws. I've lived here many years, all my life, and abided by the laws. But did that stop 11 police officers from pulling me over on January 26, 1989 on Parsons Boulevard and 89th Avenue in Jamaica, Queens. 11 of them beating me up, punching me in the face while I'm in a chokehold, grabbing my nuts and pulling my fingers back to break them. My eyes were closed, looking like something out of a Rocky movie. No. But who heard my tears? That's business as usual in America, and that's damn sure business as usual in the black community. So now you want to cry when you've been told things bad about us, when it's a lie. Now someone is going on. Let me tell you something too. You're also told that you want to be closer to the whites. Stay away from the blacks. You want to live in a white neighborhood. Well, you got just as much crime going on. I mean, hell, we're 13 or 14% of the population as black people in America, right? And when they commit crime, they don't say white on white crime. You do crime where you live. You kill where you live. So for all of you people who share these ads, when a white person does something to a white person, you must put it out there as white on white crime. Throw it right back on them in their face. Our minds are molded a certain way to believe certain things, certain realities exist when in fact that they don't. As an Asian, you probably came here to this country. You said 23 years, and you look a lot older than 23 years. Not a lot, but you're young. But we've been here, and this is what we've been dealing with, but you want to ignore something like that. Now you realize you got your nigga wake-up call as an Asian. They don't want to be bothered with you. Not all, but some. Trump has stirred up so much division in the country. And now you're feeling it. But it took that. Now you get a taste of it directly. Get to the back of the line. We've been there our whole time for generations and hundreds of years. But people say, oh, slavery's over. Racism is over. This is a post-racial society. And if it was, since Barack Obama became the so-called first black president, although we know we had several before him, even when we said that, not me, but many of you, to rub it in our face. Oh, what are you complaining about? You have a black president. Look, Barack Obama didn't do nothing for me. It was entertaining to see his face and his wife. He's a family man, but I don't know about his politics. Well, we all know he's a figurehead. No president is the one that really pulls strings. They follow orders. But don't tell me that this is a post-racial society since he was in. It's even worse. Well, that post-racial period didn't last too long now, did it? But we knew what time it was, and that was thrown in our face. So, little Asian girl, I tell you the same thing. What's wrong? This is a post-racial society. Let's just get along. No, you got a taste of it now because that one that you worshipped as being the epitome, watching these soap operas and these TV shows and believing that these folks live above you. Very few that I know who are Caucasian live better than me. I don't mean as far as me having lots of money, but in balance and in harmony, productivity, peace in the home, budgeting, living below my means, being connected to nature. This society has not ripped me away from all things natural. For a time, I admit that it did. But the sun doesn't shine anymore on anyone else who may have more money and may have more status in this world than it does on me. When it rains the same way it does in my neighborhood as it does in what they call the more affluent neighborhoods. When I breathe air, the same thing. So there is no difference that way. But I don't want to be a part of that world. And this is why I say I'm a separatist. But don't misconstrue my words and twist it around. I'm in a world with many different races, cultures, and colors of people. And I have to get along with them, right? But when I say separatist, I mean separatist from the BS and trying to join onto the system to be accepted. At 54 years old, full-fledged now, I'm through with that. I'm riding out the rest of my life enjoying while being productive, enjoying what I've worked so hard for, and being productive, not breaking the law, not stepping on anybody's toes. But you know what? Don't break divine and natural law with me. You'll face the consequences. But Asian lady, you got to understand that when you deal with an animal, when you deal with a beast, when you deal with somebody with that type of mentality, you can't be surprised when you get bit.
Make sure to check out the boldest blog at LanceScurv.com and follow Scurv on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under LanceScurv.